Welcome to this video on Microsoft Outlook. Once you start work, the volume of emails you get will go through the roof. So it's important that you're able to stay organized, stay on top of things, and get all the information that you need at your fingertips. So one of the first things that you're going to want to do in Microsoft Outlook is to be able to look at your calendar as well as other people's calendars so that you can work out when you're both free in order to have a meeting about something or schedule something in. So at the bottom left of Microsoft Outlook, you can see that there is a little envelope symbol. That's where you go to your email, and we are on the calendar symbol so that we are looking at our calendar down the bottom left. So we can see our own calendar, which is great. And what we would like to be able to do is to see someone else's calendar. So we're going to go to the Home tab at the top, and then we're going to go to Open Calendar from Address Book. And we're going to put in the name of the person that we are looking to see their calendar. And then their calendar will pop up on the right-hand side. So at the moment, the calendars are separate, and you can see what I'm doing on the left-hand side and what they are doing on the right-hand side. But what makes it nice and easy is if you push the little arrow on their calendar, it will overlay both calendars on top of each other, so that you can see what they are doing on top of your calendar, so you can work out very easily when you are both free and when you are able to meet. So if I'd like to send a meeting appointment now, I can click on the time that I would like to send it and simply double click to open a meeting invite, or again, still at the Home tab, I can look up to the top left. I can make a new appointment for myself, but what I'm really looking for here is new meeting. So I can click on that one and arrange a new meeting. So the easiest thing is just to double click on the time you'd like. Wait for the little box to pop up. So subject, meeting to discuss file. The location will be the break room. And the meeting will finish after an hour. Now, the important thing that we have to do is to invite attendees. So here we are going to put in the name of the person that we are inviting, and we are going to send them the invite. So what will happen is that the meeting will appear fairly promptly in my calendar, and it usually takes a little while for the meeting to show up in theirs. And there it is, both meetings appearing side by side, so we can see that they're both free. You can see the shaded line here means that they haven't accepted the meeting yet, because obviously it's only just been sent to them, but it does still appear in their calendar. So one of the things that you're going to want to be able to do is to make sure that you can follow up on emails and tasks, and you can stay on top of all the things that you're going to have to be able to do. So when you get an email that requires you to do something, an easy way to do this is to right click on that particular email, and then you go to the follow-up option. You can pick today, tomorrow, this week, etc. You can add a custom date, add a reminder to your calendar. So let's say we want to add a reminder to our calendar. The start date is 20th of March. Maybe we want to complete it by next week. So the due date is the 27th. Add our reminder and we click OK. And what that does is it adds a little red flag to the email. It's sort of an orange flag because it is not due yet. You've got a week to do it. It becomes red when it is due. And down the bottom, remember, we had email and calendar. One of the other things you have down here is your to-do list. And your to-do list will show you that next week you are due to complete the current awareness task, and that it has to be done then. So if you go back to your emails, and what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to mark the task complete when you've done it, either in your to-do list or on the email itself. So you can just click it and it will tick and become green, and that shows you that you have completed the task. And again, if we go back to our to-do list, we can see that it has disappeared from our to-do list. The other thing that you're able to do with emails is to add them directly to your calendar. So if you have an appointment for a meeting, it can be really useful to have the email that the meeting is about with any attachments that come with it directly in your calendar so that when you're there, you know exactly what you're looking for. So you can right click an email and you can move it to your calendar. And what that will then do is it'll ask you for a particular time or place. So let's say you know you've got a conference call about this particular email, and you pick the day that it's going to be. Let's say it's on the 28th, which is why you were following up on it by the 27th, and the conference call is at 1 o'clock. So now, when you save and close that particular appointment, the email and the attachments will be copied, so it doesn't delete it, but it will be copied to your calendar so that you have all the information available to you when you go to that particular meeting. Another really useful thing in Outlook is to be able to create new folders so that you can put things in folders and organize your emails. So if you right click on your inbox or whatever it is that you want to create a folder within, so if you right click and then just choose the option for new folder, and then you can type in the name of the folder. So let's call this one not usually required. You just hit enter and voila, you have created your new folder with hopefully nothing in it. And what that will allow us to do is to work with things like rules and to move things from particular files into the right folder. So what we can now do with that new folder is put it to good use by demonstrating how we can use rules. Now rules may only save you a little bit of time, but once you set up a rule, it will work forever. So that you might save yourself a couple of minutes each day, but that will add up over a huge amount of time. So you may get emails from particular people, maybe spam emails that you don't want to see. Maybe there are emails on things which are irrelevant to you. So what we've done is we've created this folder called Not Usually Required, and what we would like to do is to put in there low priority emails that we don't normally have to spend much time on. So I get an email frequently from room bookings who tell me which rooms are reserved for tutor quiet rooms each week, and this I don't normally use the tutor quiet room, so it's not something I need to read. So what I want to do is any emails that come from room bookings that have tutor quiet room in the title, I would like to send them to a folder called Not Usually Required, which we've just created. So I'm going to go up to File, which is in the top left, the File tab, and I'm going to click Manage Rules and Alerts. And up pops this box, which allows us to create new rules. So the new rule box is sort of towards the top left here. So we click on the new rule. What we'd like to do is move messages with specific words in the subject to a folder. You can choose from a particular person or a combination of these things, or sent to particular people, but for this demonstration we'll choose messages with specific words in the title. So the specific words are now automatically selected. You can add other conditions, like it's also from a particular person, or sent only to me, or sent to lots of different people. So here the specific word that we are looking for, or words, is tutor quiet room. And we are going to add that and click OK. We're going to move it to the specified folder, and here we have to say what that specified folder is going to be. And here that specified folder is going to be in our inbox. So here it is. So we open up our inbox with this little right arrow. We can see the three folders. We're going to put it in the Not Usually Required folder. So we're going to click OK. And then we are going to hit Finish. And now we have our rule. We can choose whether to apply it or not, but here we have apply this rule after the message arrives. Anything with tutor quiet room in the subject, move it to the not usually required folder and stop processing more rules. So that sounds good. We will apply that particular rule. And now it's been applied, all we have to do is click the OK box and go back to our inbox. So what we've done now is any new emails that come in with Tutor Quiet Room in the title will move straight to our not usually required box without us having to do anything else. So they will move into a lower priority folder and we can look at them if we want to, but otherwise we can simply ignore them. And you can create as many rules as you like, as complex as you like. You can move emails with the name of a particular case you're working on into a particular folder or a client name from a particular person. They can all have their own folders or all have their own rules in order to help organize your inbox without you having to do anything. There are some other pieces of software that also bear a mention in this video. Things like voice dictation software and time recording are used by lots of law firms all over the world. Let's talk first about voice dictation software. The most common of these is Dragon Naturally Speaking. It takes a bit of getting used to, as you often have to say your punctuation out loud, full stop. It can be a little unnerving when you use it for the first time, hyphen, especially if someone else can hear you, exclamation mark. There isn't really any particular training you need to do for this, just a little bit of practice. There's a free week's trial available from their website, and you can even practice it on your phone. It's better to do this before you get into the office and people are listening. When it comes to time recording software, there are lots and lots of different time recording software packages, and they often link to the billing systems of the firm, and maybe the document management systems as well. Some of them work at least partly automatically. Let's say they record time when you're in a particular file, it automatically knows which matter it's on. So if you're working on a Word document that's associated with that file, it will automatically record your time to it. A lot of them, though, require more manual input. For example, there may be an always on top mini window on your PC. So as you start working on the file, you click on the particular file you're working on to indicate that you're working on it. And as you stop, you then click on the next file that you are working on. What doesn't work very well is getting to the end of the day or even the week and trying to remember how much time you spent on any one particular file. I can't really go into too much detail on time recording software because the packages are very diverse and they are often used in many ways by different firms.